Please get ready for a dictation from transcription number 521 from Sir Kailash Chandra magazine. 5 seconds. Start. I find from the deliberations that this is a long struggle going on between the promotees and the direct recruits for the last 20 years, and the litigation is going on for the last 12 years. Sir, I do not wish to blame the present government for this sorry state of affairs, because this is a legacy that the present government has inherited. Sir, the struggle has started from 1949. I do not know how much about the working of the central government departments, but so far as the state governments are concerned, every department under a state government has got cadre and recruitment rules. I do not know whether this department under the finance ministry had any cadre and recruitment rules. I am raising this specific question because just now the Honorable Minister has stated in his statement that he had to prepare the seniority rules in pursuance of the decision received from the Supreme Court. That means that they had no seniority rules at all, and they had no cadre and recruitment rules at all when for the first time the direct recruitment took place in the year 1949. So I want to know whether there were any cadre and recruitment rules before the direct recruitment took place in the year 1949. Why I am putting this question is because I had an occasion to hear both the sides. Direct recruits say that according to the cadre and recruitment rules, their quota in the first instance was fixed at 80% so far as recruitment to the posts of assistant commissioners were concerned, and 20% was provided for promotees. That later on it was diluted from 80% to 66%, and again subsequently it was diluted to 50%. So I want to know whether there were any cadre and recruitment rules. If there were any cadre and recruitment rules, promotions were strictly made in accordance with the cadre and recruitment rules. If so, this situation would not have arisen at all. But unfortunately, from the very beginning, from the inception, promotions were given on an ad hoc basis, and till date, promotions are being made only on an ad hoc basis. Sir, just now the Honorable Minister has said that now they are acting strictly in accordance with the directions that they have received from the Supreme Court, and that they have prepared a seniority list, and that the Supreme Court has accepted the seniority list. But this morning, somebody told me that the promotees are dissatisfied with the seniority list prepared by the Government of India and submitted to the Supreme Court, that they have again approached the Supreme Court with a review petition, and that the review petition has been admitted. If a review petition has been admitted, and if government were to receive orders and directions from the Supreme Court every now and then, I do not think, sir, that for another 10 years this matter is going to be settled. Every time the government will come before the House and say that these are the directions of the Supreme Court, they have to act as per the directions of the court and all that. Then I am told, sir, that for promotion from class 1 post of income tax officer to the post of assistant commissioner, 10 years service rule is there. That means that one has to put in 10 years service as commercial tax officer class 1. Otherwise, he will not be eligible for promotion. If such a thing is there, then I want to know how they are going to prepare or refix the seniority. Do they intend to change the service rules, or do they intend to change the 10 years condition? What is the policy with regard to this? So far as I am concerned, I am going to make it very clear that this is not going to end like this. The litigation will go on, it will continue. The government may seek the opinion of the law ministry or seek the opinion of the Attorney General, but the struggle between the promotees and direct recruits will go on like this, unending. That is why my suggestion is that the minister concerned should take personal interest in this matter, discuss with the representatives of both the direct recruits and promotees, and thrash out this problem. If it is not possible for him to thrash out this problem, it is better to prevail upon them to at least to agree to refer this matter to arbitration, nominating one from the direct recruits, one from the promotees, and one from the government of India.